It's changed her. Anyone can see that. If someone came round and opened her drawers, any drawer, they would see rows upon rows of knickers or t-shirts, or all perfectly sized, perfectly organised by colour, perfectly perfect. She folds, or should I say rolls, everything. Everybody's. Not just her own. All the clothes in the house get the Marie Kondo treatment. No matter how small or if they'll even ever be worn. Everything's so neat and tidy now. You know what they say? Tidy house. Tidy mind. And she'd be the first to admit that her mind, it can be messy sometimes. Chaotic. A real fuck up of shit sometimes. She's wishing it away. Wishing the time away. But she knows, really. What's the point? This whole thing is a pointless exercise. Nothing to show for it. She's worked hard and it's of course frustrating. Frustrating to know that it was all for nothing. It will have all been for nothing. Of that she's certain, 90% certain, that all of it was a waste of time. Or the sex that wasn't, that isn't about love anymore, that isn't about how it feels, that isn't about coming anymore. It's just about getting it done correctly, in the correct position. And even when all the boxes are ticked, it can still fail. She can still fail. It's all been a waste of time. She's 95% certain of that. She'd have been better spending that time doing this. Organising, folding, keeping that old noggin tidy. Oh, that lying on her back with her legs in the air, a fucking waste of her precious time. Eating every leafy green known to humanity, listening to all the advice, almonds are good, trans fat's bad, coconut water is a natural lubricant, but red wine is a no-no, unless you have just a very small glass. Oh no, not even a small glass, and don't go near shellfish, just in case, just in case, just in case. In a minute and a half she will know for absolute sure, although she is already 99.9% certain. She will know that just in case is a definitely not, and she'll mark the occasion with red wine. A large glass, maybe 4. What a fucking waste of time and energy. Not like folding. There's nothing like the feeling of satisfaction that you get when all your socks are balled and put away. She's done this so many times before, waited and then disappointment. Every time disappointment, she wonders why she even bothers anymore. She doesn't even need to check it, she knows the answer. Check her out. She could give Marie Kondo a run for her money. She's a real pro at it. And most importantly, she loves it. She loves it. She does. She does. When she next has guests, she will show them. When she does the tour of her immaculate house, she'll accidentally leave a drawer open and they'll see her perfectly organised underwear and they'll be jealous. I wish I could be that neat and tidy, they'll say, and she'll be pleased as punch because they envy her. They envy her. Time's up.
I miss the smell of my mother's food. I miss the taste of my mother's food. I miss the soil under my feet. I miss her hugs. I miss the smell of the fresh air through my nostrils. I want you to remember me, to remember you, to remember us.
Touching, being touched, hugging, being hugged, looking into eyes, being looked at, reaching out with my hand, shaking hands, high five, placing my hand on the back of my friend who needs help.
During the lockdown, I have missed
walking in the gallery and looking at the paintings.
Go on a day.
go to church for prayers and meet my aunties.
Touch just seems to be very absent at the moment.
To the theme park. being with other people.
It'd be nice to catch up with the rest of my family and friends.
When we come out of this, I'm going to throw my arms around everybody.
When it's done so far, I will go and see everybody, friends and my family.
No one quite knew how we got together. No one together.
No one quite knew how we got together. How we got together.
A star flitted into my mouth, and I swallowed it whole. I tried to cough it out, but too late. The star had run down my throat, its jagged edges cut deep. I felt my grandmother's spirit entering me in the dance I was offering to you. Release me, she said. Remember me, she said. Restore and renounce me, she said. I've been watching over you since you were a child. Suddenly, I was not me anymore, but something else, wild and free, what I had always wanted to be. My body, which was not my body, but the body of my grandmother, remembered what it embodied, what it had always embodied, through generations, countries, boundaries, thresholds, beyond mere skin, this flesh, these bones, these limbs, tendons, and sinews. Such a relief. Something buried deep spiraled to the surface. Pour, pour yourself into me with love. I want to piece you back together again. Remember you at last with song. And I became lighter than air, a mere breath on the lyre wind.
In 2009, I met a person in a chat. He swore, vowed, that he was a trustworthy man.
They told me, no matter for me to leave Chechnya, so that they could never meet me in the district. I have been threatened to give them 24 hours to leave Chechnya.
In the former commandant's office, they were on and started to ask questions about my relationships with men.
Assaulted and humiliated blood, and then showed according to some rules. They asked for 500,000 rubles for my release.
Took off my clothes, my shirt, jeans, even my underwear. They themselves started to undress me.
Undress me.
The one who was driving filmed all of it. The others just beat me.
I had bracelets on my wrist, and also a leather bag, which a straight man rarely wore, full of personal belongings for hygiene. My Or I'll shoot you right here. Shoot. I was the head of the district department of domestic affairs.
It was sufficient to imprison me.
After that, they handcuffed me and put me in the trunk of the car. Listen, a lot of people saw me. They responded. Instead of taking me out, me right on the street. I saw two policemen, and they said I should proceed.
Они получали удовольствие от нашего мучения. Они приказали другим делать с нами, что они хотят. Они били меня все это время огромными черными сапогами. Они уже знали мое имя. Они уже знали мое имя.
Не бейте их шока. Шока перестанет чувствовать боль. Нам этого не надо.
Они сказали, что им надо трогать нас своими руками.
The first thing the police officer asked me was which female name I liked the most. I didn't respond.
Когда они дали из меня показать, что они меня сказали, что они описали, что я монстр. И мою жизнь как монстр. То я начала говорить, что я ищу, чтобы мне быть близко. И давай учим. Я стал только грязно стоит больше, чем я.
And as they were grabbing me everywhere, I thought that they were going to rape me.
One of the people who grabbed me was our local police officer. Потом они сказали, есть доказательства, что вы пьете. Вы приносите позор на наш народ. А вы не должны жить. Мы всех вас поймаем.
They tied my hands back and linked the wires to me with lamps, so that the wires permeated under my nails. They poured water on my skin, so the electricity would hit me harder. They laughed when I cried.
They brought in a hollow tube.
And a barbed
They
wire.
put tube inside of him. Then they put the barbed wire inside this tube. And then they were slowly pulling the barbed wire out. When I saw that video and realized they had already brought the tube and the barbed wire, I did.
At that moment, we lost any hope of coming out alive.
Если ты важный человек, который мог бы принести позор властям или администрации, тебя не выпускают, тебя убивают. Они уже знали мое имя.
They said that if I wouldn't tell them at least 3 names, they would accuse me of something similar, and I would never be released from the
Не
prison.
мучьте их так сильно. Стоит ли их принести к тебе? Нет еще. Мы скоро решим, после того, как получим приказ от главного
The Lord came to us, the chairman of the parliament.
Magomed Daudov.
He told them that if they honor the traditions, they must kill us, and that if they did everything, they would not be punished for it. If any opponents knew that I was a lesbian, they would beat me and rape me, film it, and then share it with others, or simply kill me. I needed to hide the fact that I am a lesbian, so I married a man so as not to ruin the reputation of my family. There was a school teacher from a village called Gekhov. It was obvious that he was gay. He was killed in his wave by his relatives.
I could not imagine in my worst nightmares that my relatives would do this about me. These male relatives thanked the police for the information and told them that they would resolve this matter for themselves. They began to clobber me with impossible words and put a gun to my temple. One of them crushed my bones so that I had no surgery for it to be removed.
Мой брат вошел в мою комнату, сел передо мной с пистолетом и попросил меня застрелиться. Он сказал, что пообещал отцу, что он сам этого не сделает, и было бы легче объяснить другим, что я по ошибке застрелился. Я ответил, что я не стану себя убивать, и что если он готов меня убить, то пора.
Firmly and unmistakably underlines.
And then a politician emerged who also believed that people should be allowed to express themselves. Instead of being controlled by the state, the individual should become the central focus of society.
Some socialists seem to believe that people should be numbers in a state computer. We believe they should be individuals. We're all unequal. No one, thank heavens, is quite like anyone else, however much the socialists may pretend otherwise. And we believe that everyone has the right to be unequal. But to us, every human being is equally important.
George Orwell once wrote that it's not a matter of whether the war is not real or if it is. Victory is not possible. The war is not meant to be won. It is meant to be continuous. A hierarchical society is only possible on the basis of poverty and ignorance. This new version is the past, and no different past can ever have existed. In principle, the war effort is always planned to keep society on the brink of starvation. The war is waged by the ruling group against its own subjects, and its object is not the victory over either Eurasia or East Asia, but to keep the very structure of society intact.
Of the slow but steady conversion of our Western societies into police states. Our Western societies claim to be liberal democracies, but our leaders try to enforce more and more repressive laws and instrumentalize the public fear of terror to justify them.
The following film talks about mental health and grief. Please be mindful when watching that these may be subject matters that some people may find distressing. There will be some information of organisations that specialise in these areas that can be found at the end of the film. Thank you. People say, don't suffer in silence, don't be a stranger, reach out, talk to someone if you need help, but what does that mean? It's hard to take those first steps if you're used to feeling not heard or seen. You can't cope with the fact that you are taught to not feel or fear because you are a bloke. Sometimes when you go to speak, you worry if anyone will be able to decipher the Unicode. Learning lessons of how to stifle, how to bottle it all up. Reminiscing all the time that's been spent fake laughing at the jokes made at your expense. We're told that life's a party, and sometimes I wonder when will the party get started. We've all seen too many people leave, and I'm not sure how you actually grieve the bereaved. And you know, it's not just people we can lose. It's our hopes, our sense of self, our connections with others that we thought we knew too. People often say, toughen up, lighten up mate, chin up, it's not that bad, stand up straight, stiff upper lip, get on with it, there are others going through worse than this, slap a grin on your face even if you don't feel like wearing it, like every other day, say you are okay, say you are alright, say you are doing just fine, even if you feel like you are losing your mind, and even if it's eating away at you. Don't you ever dare to even dream of telling anyone the truth. Do you notice when a light is dimming, fading, or only once it has gone out?
Ayer soñé que a la sombra de una higuera mecían los árboles sus ramas, mi única bandera, y posaba sobre la acequia mi patria. Soñé que entre la oscuridad de mi cuarto y la tristeza de estos días se colaba un haz de luz que amanecía. Después de tanta desidia y tanto duelo, del estatismo del momento y de no hallar salidas, me aferro al único pensamiento que me ocupa desde ayer. No cabe entre estas paredes mi vida. No cabe. Es ese deseo por pisar la tierra lo que me lleva a soñar. Pero es que no soñé durmiendo, fue al despertar. Lo que viene no es negro, tiene el color del mar, de luz del Mediterráneo. Ayer soñé que el tiempo se movía, que esta habitación no es tan pequeña, pues tiene el tamaño de un patio de infancia, de un valle idílico, de aquel idilio siempre creado. Soñé que olía a salitre y a azahar y a café por la mañana temprano, que ya no volvería a oler a alcohol para desinfectar las manos. También soñé que veía sonrisas, las palpaba, y muecas extrañas, y expresiones de tristeza, pero siempre sin máscara. Que no tendría que aventurarme a adivinar que todo sería una certeza. Todo fue un sueño. Pero al fin y al cabo soñé. Y no soñaba desde hace tiempo. Y como la prisa va con pies de plomo, estaré esperando aquí, a la hora postrera de este arresto, para volver a sentir el tacto de la piel raída o de la piel fina. Pero sobre todo, el sueño que soñé ayer me brindó una respuesta bastante reveladora. Volveremos a amar. Volveremos a amar, que es el único acto revolucionario